to write it.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, welcome to the Ramblecast After Dark. This is episode 168. And mark it down in your calendars. Nick has no song tonight.
I finally returned, and there's no song.
Yeah, I actually have one. I looked up the chords. I just didn't have time to rewrite the lyrics.
Is it another Beck song?
It's not a Beck song.
Fuck you with your anti-Beckisms.
That's right.
Okay.
Fuck that guy.
Why do you hate Beck?
I know. It's like just because he was a Scientologist and he left Scientology and divorced his Scientologist wife, you have to hate on him. Okay, I get it.
Right.
Okay.
I told you that, didn't I? Like Cliff and I at least once a month would go into Hollywood to watch a movie, and there's a big Scientology church right there on Hollywood, and we would always purposely walk by it because sometimes they would want us to come in, and sometimes they would look at us and be like, and so we're like, oh, what is it today? Like, what is it? Our clothing? Is it the way we're walking? What is it? Like, some days they'd want us, some days they wouldn't.
I see you as a George Costanza,
right?
Where they don't want to recruit you.
Yeah, they go after Cliff. They
want Cliff, but they don't want you.
Yeah, and if they only knew your net value, they'd go for you over Cliff.
Well, my net value. Well, I was gonna say, what's in the bank account, what's in the checking account is not so like woohoo, but like but when you think about like as a whole the portfolio, you're kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, they could get some money, I guess.
Yeah, that's what they say. If you're what you're valued at or what you're worth, but most people own a home.
Yeah,
especially if you're in California. Yeah, you're a millionaire.
Yeah. Like, and the difference between my sister and I are so different in like the way we use what we do with our money. And my sister has no head for figures at all. And I remember saying it to my dad one time. I was like, wow, I was like, if I go, my sister's gonna be pretty well off, and he's like, I should probably blow it in a year. And I just like, that's probably true.
There goes the farm.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever need my name and social security number, you just let me know, bud.
I wanted to help out because I was in Tennessee this week. I was in West Virginia, so
yeah, they're not the same.
It's got to be the same.
No, it's not. Nowhere near.
So Jack, where were you this whole time? Burying bodies? You were gone for so long. It just felt
funny. It's funny you say that because when we went through at night. We were going to Pittsburgh, and we stopped in West. We stopped when I didn't know if I was going to make the show. I said, hey, maybe they're still recording. but I checked and we weren't doing it. But anyway, so we were doing halfway to Pittsburgh. We said, hey, let's stop at West Virginia. It was Beckley, West Virginia. We'll stop there, get some rest, and finish the drive to Pittsburgh the next day. So we didn't see West Virginia during the day. It's actually a beautiful state.
It's a very beautiful state. Yeah.
I mean, it's just miles and miles and miles and miles of places where you would bury a dead body and nobody would ever. You don't even have to bury it, I wouldn't think.
That's why John Denver sang about it so much.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at John Denver, you're like polite, kind, hippie, smoke pot, Colorado guy, but no.
Actually, he didn't really sing about West Virginia. He sang about Western Virginia, like as in not. He didn't sing about the state of West Virginia. He sang about Western Virginia, like so, like Shenandoah River, like all that stuff is in the state of Virginia, but like it's Western Virginia. So like that's the
that's like he fucked him over.
But he didn't say Western Virginia. He said West
Virginia.
Yeah.
Mountain Mama.
Mountain Mamas.
Yeah,
but
that's what Jack was looking for.
I told my wife, I said, we could easily kill somebody.
Oh yeah,
and put them out because you wouldn't, like I said, you wouldn't have to bury them because there's wild animals everywhere. And the deer killing from West Virginia to Pennsylvania and back, there must have been 50 deer that were killed on the highway. I said, man, could they not teach these deer to stay off or at least look both ways?
Right.
I mean, they're like the kids getting off the school bus, where they don't look because they assume people are going to stop because the stop sign's up.
Okay. Ironically, those are all dead drops. So all of those deer are filled with drugs.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's how they smuggle drugs.
That's
I mean, nobody would suspect it. Nobody wants to go through that deer. So they just throw it off on the side of the road. It's filled with cocaine, heroin, methadone, you know.
I think you're giving somebody an idea, Matt, right
now. I couldn't live in West Virginia.
You're giving somebody an idea, Matt.
That is actually a pretty good idea.
Thanks. And if you've already had that idea, sorry.
Someone out there is like smoking right now, and they're like, "Dude, man, it's like a perfect crime, man."
Can I patent that idea?
Or somebody's super high and they've just done that, and they're like, "Fuck, he knows."
He knows, man. We gotta kill him.
When they finally get busted a few years later, like, where did you come up with the idea to put it inside the deer carcass? I was listening to this podcast, man, and like
this dolphin guy. It's how he got his papers.
So you have to get a job as a animal cleanup person, the person that comes around and scoops up the dead animals, the carcasses, right?
Yeah, well, that's part of your cover. You pretend to be the person picking up the carcasses, but you are, literally a drug mule.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically, like, I mean, that's what you do. Like, you assume, like someone in West Virginia is growing, massive acres of pot, because it's not going to be cocaine or something. But like, yeah, exactly. You kill a deer, you jam the bricks somewhere inside the carcass, and then like that way, and you just throw it out on the road somewhere, and then you own or like know the people that are picking them up. And it's like, oh, like pick these things up, and then it's like a perfect kind of like money laundering. It's like, hey, like it's
because
out of my hands. It's
nobody's going to want to dig into a dead deer.
If you're getting paid, you would.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. But if it's a perfect cover.
Who thinks of these fucking things, right?
Yeah.
Jeez. Anyway, ripped from the stories of headlines, I feel like Florida man arrested for putting drugs in animal carcasses. That's going to be the next thing.
I think Randy just said it was an episode of Breaking Bad. So
I don't remember them putting drugs in animals, like roadkill animals.
Not roadkill. There was something. Wasn't there something though?
We better call Saul. Figure this out.
But anyway, West Virginia is a beautiful state. I mean,
you should.
My God, look how much land is here. It just.
You should go. Like, I forget what road it is. Is it 80? Is it 85 or 75? It's 85 or 85. Take 85 up through the middle of West Virginia sometime in late October. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Well, that's why I told Cindy. I said we should come back here in the fall. She goes, "Why?" I go, "All these trees."
Yeah,
I go, "It'd be a postcard. It'd be."
And you hate trees, so I mean, you're like, I love trees.
I don't hate trees. I just don't.
You don't like them in your backyard. You're like, not in my backyard. You're looking at my backdrop right here, and you're like, I don't like trees.
I don't like trees that could potentially fall on my house. That's what I don't like.
By the way, my backdrop is like a couple of dead trees.
Just a barren. Yeah.
I planted 3 trees last year. I'm like the green person on the street.
That's what most people. I think actually in the podcasting group we always call you the green thumb.
Yeah,
and there goes Jack's green thumb. Get him.
And someone in my car made a joke because we stopped a few times in West Virginia, and I said, "Do you think they all look alike because of all the inbreeding?"
Whoa!
Now it wasn't me,
and
it wasn't Cindy.
Yeah. Someone else in the car said that.
Someone else in the car. It's my split personality. I'm just kidding, people in West Virginia. You guys were very nice. It's very nice.
My boss has kind of gotten used to me in my really just demented thoughts. And same thing. I was in a conference room with a potential clients, and the guy that was like the head. When he sat down, when I looked at him, my boss noticed my face kind of like looked funny, and he kind of like he came back to me and he goes, "What was that look you kind of made when he sat down?" I was like, "You really want to know?" He's like, "Yeah." He goes, "I was questioning his family lineage because he looks like he keeps it all in the family." It's like, and he's like, "Yeah." He goes, "I can see it," like because it did just look like whoa, like what's up with this guy?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was looking for the kid playing the banjo.
Yeah.
I mean, I was.
Yeah, it wasn't quite that kid, but. But
doesn't it take place in West Virginia, Deliverance?
No, I think it was shot in North Carolina, but I think it was
but it was
northern Georgia. I think
northern Georgia. Okay,
yeah.
And Sherry said Mr. Green Jeans. Not a lot of people know who that is.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, we're all familiar with the
Captain Kangaroo.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was. We had a good time.
Mr. Green Jeans.
We actually got up to Pittsburgh and back 7 hours each way. About 7 hours and 10 minutes.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It wanted to take us there's 3 routes you could go. The one route through Washington was like 9.5 hours. I go,
no.
Why would anyone want to go that way?
No. Never ever go through Eastern Virginia. Like, that's the worst.
Yeah.
Because you have Richmond and all those other places.
All those towns,
No
they do have a cool clock, though, in Richmond. It's like the coolest clock building. But anyway. But we went to Pittsburgh, saw 2 games. Padres won the first, lost the second one in extra innings.
Ooh.
Won, but didn't. But the fans in Pittsburgh, well, the first night there were no fans in Pittsburgh. There was literally nobody there. I had the worst hot dog I've ever had in a stadium in my life.
That's like punishable by death. Like, you can't go to a baseball stadium and have a bad hot dog. Like,
I mean, how do you fuck up a hot dog?
Exactly. Yeah.
And the key to the what is the what are we talking about? A hot dog. So it should be what?
Hot. Yeah.
At least lukewarm.
Yeah.
No.
We went
lukewarm.
up in the second inning and got 2 dogs. Cindy got a Coke. I got a beer, and she ended up getting some French fries. So it was about $49 worth of food, and literally, I bit it. I go, oh my God, the bun was hard and crumbled all of.
Oh.
This is the second inning. And I'm like going, how's
you got one of the pre-made ones. Yeah.
Well, you expect the food at the end of the game to be terrible. So anyway, I said, worst hot dog I've I have to say, the worst hot dog I've ever had in my fucking life. And
Mike, I think he is talking about his near-death experience here eating.
No, it's where I got lost in IKEA because the arrows stopped.
Oh fuck! Oh,
and
dude.
I was screaming for my life, but they led me to safety.
Oh, God.
Did you guys ever, just speaking of that, like of IKEA, like it happened like 3 or 4 years ago. It was pure genius where a guy got arrested, and I'm not sure what store it was in, but he did that. He went and made all the arrows.
Yes, I heard about this.
It was just there was no way out. Like it was just a continual, like everyone just kept walking in circles.
Nice.
It's like, it's the perfect crime.
But the stadium itself is a beautiful stadium. PNC Park, like I said, the first night was like watching a game in
hey, that's my bank.
PNC, yeah. People were riding up on their bikes, and but there was people. It was so quiet. It was
glad to know my money's going for something.
Yeah, it was like being in a morgue, but we had great. The seats we sat behind the Padre dugout, visitor side, $50 a seat, and we're like 5 rows back from the dugout.
That's awesome.
Oh wow!
I mean, it's just like, oh my God. So we decided to driving up there. We said, okay, we'll go Friday. We had tickets for Saturday back in October, November. But yeah, and the next night we had same seats, but we went up to get food. Well, the people sitting in front of us, I go, did they just leave? It was like the second inning. They didn't come back to like the bottom of the 4th inning. So they're gone for like 2.5 innings.
Mm.
No,
they went out to their car, got high, had some sex, and then came back.
They went up for food.
Oh fuck. That long.
Yeah, so we went up to go use the restroom real quick and said, okay, let's get some food. This is about the 5th inning. We sat in line for a half inning. It didn't move.
Damn.
They had one person at each concession stand.
That's just
that's pitiful.
I think what the problem was, because the night before there were probably 8,000 people there, maybe.
Oh, so they didn't.
Maybe. So the next night they had a fireworks show. So there was probably about 25,000 people there.
Oh.
And they didn't bring any more staff in. I said, okay, your food sucks anyway, but I was going to get something different. And I go, this is ridiculous. I don't want to sit here for 2.5. But that's what everyone that left didn't come back for like 2 or 3 innings.
That's like our show. That's like our podcast. You just described it. Yeah.
So, but the fans were great. I mean, you didn't have to worry about getting your ass kicked because.
Well, that's not our show.
Well, I mean, sometimes you go to an opposing, stadium or something. You gotta like if I went to Dodger Stadium with Padre gear, I would probably take some shit, have to listen to some crap. Same thing with San Francisco. I'd probably have to listen to some crap. But here, there's no history between the Padres and Pirates at all. There's nothing anywhere. And yeah, we did eat there. Randy said Primiti Brothers. We ate there Saturday night because there was nothing open because it went to extra innings. So we can't. And they said, "Oh, there's this place that it was excellent. The pizza was outstanding. People were nice." So yes, I did eat there because it's down the street from our hotel. And I don't know if I guys told you about the hotels being so expensive. Because it's fucking Pittsburgh. Why are they $500 a night?
Yes, I do believe we talked about this before we didn't see you for a while.
Yeah, so we stayed just outside of Pittsburgh, about 18 minutes from the stadium.
Oh, in Steubenville?
Yeah, Steubenville, Pittsburgh. You know how many times I said that?
I probably your wife was about to kill you, but yeah.
Yes, Steubenville, Pittsburgh. But we. And my light just went out. Anyway, so what was I saying?
I don't know. Your light went out, so you probably lost half your thought.
Oh, hotels. I said, why are they so it's fucking and not to if you're listening from Pittsburgh, lovely city. But
Jack's eyes did not go wide and look around.
I was born in Pennsylvania. I'm a Pennsylvanian.
You're a Keystone Stater.
I'm a Keystone Stater. You're my brothers, but okay, it's not that great. They had a marathon that weekend, so they jacked up all the prices because we couldn't figure out why it was so goddamn expensive. I go, we're not going to France or anything like it's Pittsburgh, but that's why it was so expensive because of the race. But if you like baseball and you want to see a good game, you want to see go to a nice field, PNC Park. But bring your own food.
It's weird, like they're selling like tickets, $50 a seat, $50 a seat, and so forth. But they can't afford 10 extra employees to just.
Well, Cindy was trying to justify. Well, everybody's short staffed, and I go. They're charging you $7 for a hot dog, $14 for a beer. Fucking get some people in here.
Pony up $15 an hour and get somebody to work the booth.
Because what was happening is the person that was the cashier also got the food. So that's why it wasn't moving.
Yep.
Right.
I said, I go, who wants to go to a game and mess 2.5 innings for some crappy food? Not me. And the only thing that came around and they don't take, it's a cashless place. They don't take any cash.
Oh, that's against the law.
And people were, because all these Pittsburgh people were, hey, can I get some? Because the only thing that came around was cotton candy, Arnold Palmer drinks, and Coors.
No peanuts?
No, peanut guy never came around. The hot dog guy never came around. I mean, it was just, I go, all right, but the cotton candy guy comes around, and everyone goes, oh, no, I can't take cash.
That's fucked up.
Pissed. So anyway.
I always think of Rookie of the Year, the movie Rookie of the Year, when people talk about hot dogs in stadiums because the owner of the Cubs, he gives the guy 75 cents. He's like, "What are you kidding, man? It's like you're about $11 short." And then he's like, $3 for a hot dog, and it's like, God, I'd love to pay $3 for a hot dog these days.
Yeah, but it was god awful. I mean, but the games were great.
So it looks like Will Fry is going to go in September. For a Cards Pirates game and a Bulls Pits game.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll treat Cards fans as nice as Padre fans.
Football, like college football.
The sad thing is a lot of people we were talking to, because I had a Tatis jersey on, a lot of the kids had Fernando Tatis jerseys on. And it was funny because there were kids that were Tatis Padre fans. They're probably Padre fans because of Tatis, but they're sitting with their Pittsburgh family. And they're all like guy in front of us, he's like going, I bought these tickets back in October. My son loves Fernando Tatis. He wanted to come see him. Of course, then he gets hurt. I mean, some people didn't know. I had standing in line. This guy comes. I'm waiting for Cindy to come out of the bathroom. The guy comes, hey, when's he going to play? I go, what? Who? He goes, Tatis. I bought tickets just to come see him play. Is he not playing today? I go, oh, he's not coming back till June. He broke a bone in his wrist. They go, really? I go, yeah. He goes, well, that fucking sucks. So all these fans came there to watch Fernando Tatis Jr. play.
Right.
And he wasn't there. So
okay, are they really fans though? If they didn't know,
if they don't know.
Yeah, come on. That's like
it's
like
okay. I don't like
that's like watching Book of Boba Fett and being like, why isn't Luke Skywalker in it?
You're talking Pittsburgh. The news probably hasn't traveled there yet. The Pony Express hasn't come through there yet. So
sure. It
Pony
is pretty
Express
backwoods.
Never went through Pennsylvania.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
I watched that TV show. Was it Young Riders or the Pony Express show? It was Pony Express only lasted like 6 months, something like that.
Yeah,
what?
It didn't last long.
Really?
It basically went through Nebraska and Wyoming and
only 6 months.
It didn't last long. It's probably a little bit longer, but it wasn't long.
It wasn't very well because people kept dying.
Well, I mean, it's basically the railroad, like a lot of things, basically made it obsolete.
Like canals and stuff like that. So
there's no canals going through Nebraska.
No, but like canals were a mode of transportation.
Yeah,
it was a main mode of transportation.
Not through Nebraska.
Thanks, asshole. Thanks. Yeah.
Anyway, that's my story. I'm glad.
You got to meet somebody, a new best friend.
Yes, you did.
Oh,
we saw a picture there.
We're walking, and the Padres broadcast team. I look over, and Don Ursello, who's huge in Boston. People loved him in Boston. He's a friendly, but he wasn't really. He was on a mission. He was because we saw him 2 nights in a row. He didn't say anything to us 2 nights in a row, but Mark Grant, one of the guys, but then Tony Gwynn's son does the radio for the Padres, and he was like the nicest guy in the world, and we're talking to him and stuff like that, and I'm trying to get my phone out to take. So he goes, "Can we get a picture with you?" I go, "I'm trying to do this, I can't get." So he took the picture. He figured it out and took the picture. But we were talking because I saw him play because Mark Grant goes, "So in Raleigh, what minor league team do you have?" I said, "We have the Durham Bulls and we have the Carolina Mudcats." And he goes, "Yeah, I played the Mudcats. I played at that stadium." I go, "No, you played with Prince Fielder." He goes, "You remember that?" I go, "Yeah." So we went there. We saw you and Prince Fielder. And he's like, I go, "It was a long time ago." Goes, yes, it was. It was. But no, it was a cool night. And then we saw him the next. Well, we didn't see Tony Gwynn. He probably saw us and backed up.
Yeah. Not him again. Not him again.
Because Cindy goes, "I'm sorry, your friends left without you." After he took the pictures, he goes, "If they were my friends, they would have waited." But anyway, it was fun.
No, that's cool. I mean,
we had a good time, and of course, the drive back is the drive back. But
and Cindy had a birthday or something like that, right?
She had her birthday. Yes.
I don't always pay attention to the Facebooks, but I saw you had a.
She had a birthday Sunday. I don't remember how old she is, but it's.
Yeah, well, May Day, May 1st, right? Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, yes, we're in the month of May now. So
crazy.
Tomorrow is May the 4th. So
be with you.
Do you have
the 5th is the Beth.
The 5th is the Beth. The Beth.
Yeah, the Beth. Revenge of the 5th.
I was supposed to be married on the 5th of May.
That's right.
Yeah.
What happened?
What happened? So Nick, your name there, you put May the 4th be with you. You got any plans for tomorrow? Any special? You waking up with your Star Wars shirt, Star Wars jammies tonight, leaving the cookies out for Grogu?
My sister sent me this T-shirt. You can see.
R2 and C-3PO.
Yeah. Then below it says,
did she buy that? Did she buy that with the farm inheritance?
Yeah, she did. No. She always gets me shirts that are too damn small, and she sent it to me, and I was like, I'll wear it just today, and that's it, because it's gonna be one of those. As soon as I wash it, it's gonna be like, yep,
yeah,
nope, straight to the old. This is gonna be a dust rag.
John, the UPS retired UPS says Matt doesn't like Cinco de Mayo.
My handle on Twitter is at 5th day of May. Figure that one out.
Doesn't mean you like. Well,
I do. What would
you were going to get married that day, but you said, "Fuck it, I'm not getting married on Cinco."
No, that was my wife's call on that one.
So wait, I mean, Mike, I can say, "Hey Siri, take a selfie of me," and that it works.
Maybe.
I watch TV shows sometimes where people will say, "Hey Google."
Yeah.
And it fucks with our Google system. It's just like it all of a sudden like things start like turning on, or it'll respond. But yeah, we were watching a TV show the other day and somebody was like, "Hey Google." We were like, "What the fuck?" So
yeah. I've been just going back to kind of like I'll probably watch Empire maybe, or episode 1. I can't remember. I'm not sure which one I'll watch, but I'll definitely watch the Star Wars tomorrow. Because Jack, like you, probably because you've been gone a couple weeks, I got my big TV in and all the speakers put in downstairs.
I saw it.
Yeah,
I said, "Wow, it looks good."
And I got another little table coming and a rug coming for downstairs. And the past day I've been trying to hook up original Nintendo, Super Nintendo, PlayStation 2, Wii, and
he's going to have all the
gaming systems on it, except for
Pong and Atari.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to have Pong.
But it's interesting because like those new TVs do not take the because the original Nintendo and Super Nintendo, you went through the antenna cord,
right? The coaxial,
yeah. Mm-hmm. And so I thought it would work, on the new TVs. You just run in where the cable goes, but like it wouldn't pick it up. So I was like, well, how do you play it? How do you do it? And so basically, you have to get the old RCA cables.
The dog,
the 3, the yellow, white, and red, and then I bought because I have so many systems. I've got like a one block that all those cables would go into. Then it converts it from that to HDMI. Run it to the TV. It's now we're cooking with oil now.
Too bad your internet.
I'll take your word for it.
Too bad your internet's still not cooking with oil. But we got what you were saying though.
Anyway, we're all good now. Yeah. Jack,
it looked good because it looked like you had a lot of room there. Your
Mike was actually ahead of the comment here. TV rugs. Where's the new internet router?
Yeah.
So
supposedly, like I told you guys a while back that apparently my neighborhood shot down the idea of getting fiber, but I've talked to several of my neighbors. Who actually want fiber, and so I'm wondering who.
Well, they're older, right?
No, but they do want it though, and like they're like, we want.
They gotta have fiber in their diet.
Fiber in their diet.
That's a brand new joke.
I'm hoping that we will do something to where we can get fiber internet soon, or at least within the next year or something.
And then you'll feel the flow.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be regular.
Rolling.
I got fiber
colon flowing. Swollen, Ohio.
Colon blow.
Yeah.
How many bowls do you think it takes to equal?
That's a joke that not all the Mr. Green Jean fans out there won't get. But anyway,
last week, Jack, we talked about a movie.
Previously on,
that Matt, Chris, and I all saw, called Everything Everywhere All at Once. And I know Will Fry watched it this past weekend with his wife based on a recommendation and loved it as well. And it's an interesting movie. It's kind of like The Matrix, but crazy.
It's got adventure, or action adventure, I should say.
What's it on?
It has comedy in it, and it's got some drama as well. And,
it's in theaters.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's too heavy on sci-fi. So if you're not like a huge sci-fi person, it's not like it's going to get into something that's too heady. You can still like digest this.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. And basically, like to be spoiler free, but kind of give you an idea, is that there's a woman who just runs a laundromat with her family, and all of a sudden her husband like changes characters like right in front of her, and he's like,
"Is this the one with Jamie Lee Curtis?"
Yes.
Okay, I've literally seen the previews for this thing like 1,000 times, and I go, "This looks like the stupidest movie I've ever."
It's not.
It's not stupid, but like you definitely have a few scenes where you go from like, "Oh, this is really good," to like, "What the fuck?" It's just because it's absurd, like some of the things that are going on. But it's one of the things that's memorable that about the movie. You're just like, because it just jumps from all kind of crazy stuff. Who said that? Yeah, Miami Mike.
Oh, Miami Mike says
and Scott Pilgrim. Yeah, that's a good.
Because Cindy and I'll usually go. We usually when watching previews of this. I went.
Mm-hmm. Both of you were down.
Preview. I'm not watching this stupid because any movie where they show you a lot of the movie. I mean, it's like the previews like 10 minutes long.
They didn't. Like the previews to me. No. Go ahead.
I don't know. It just looked like it was stupid. But
okay, Sherry chimes in and says, my daughter just texted me a couple days ago and said that movie is a must watch. So, yeah, if 3 of the RCAD, if you like what we like, and if 3 of us are giving it the stamp of approval and Jack is like, it's too weird for me, then maybe you should go watch it.
No, I'm not. I'm saying the previews look stupid.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying the listener.
Oh, okay.
It's different. That's for sure. It's different.
Yeah. I mean, you can wait for it on HBO Max in about 6 months.
I don't know, maybe in 6 months. Like everything's
I know,
no
shit. Like they released the Batman like so quickly,
like a month after it came out in theaters. You're like, whoa.
Yeah,
and
no wonder
Tom
Cruise
Gun's
is
coming
upset.
out here, Fuse.
Well, yeah, Top Gun is going to be.
Is it going straight to?
I think that was one of the things that Tom Cruise was basically like, got his panties in a bunch about.
No, Top Gun's going to be released in theaters on the 27th.
No, it's being released in theaters, but I think he had issues with it going to HBO Max like afterwards. Because isn't it Warner Brothers?
That's a movie you're going to want to watch.
Or is it Paramount
on the big screen?
Yeah. I'm excited about that. I'm very.
Man.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I think we definitely have talked about this before, But as I've gotten older, the more I watch Top Gun, you really realize that Iceman was right. You're like, Maverick is not really. He's dangerous. Like to use Iceman's word. Like you're like, I wouldn't trust him either.
Well, he got his co-pilot killed.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Well, and think about it this way. I mean.
Oh no, guys. Oh no.
I mean, look at the 2 actors. Val Kilmer and Tom Cruise, and look at how wildly disparate their careers went too. And their personalities.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, I think they're both great actors. I think Val Kilmer, though, is extremely difficult to work with, and that's really what hurt him.
I watched that Val Kilmer thing on.
Val.
Val, and I think you watch. I had a different perspective after. I didn't think he was that difficult to work with. I think he just had visions for what he wanted. Like when they said you want to do Batman, he goes, "What kid doesn't want to do Batman?"
Right. Well, that's what I mean. Like sometimes that's what happens is that you see where he's kind of on fire there in the late 80s, early 90s, and then he just all it takes is a couple of bad choices in what films you're going to do or who you're going to work with, and then it kind of takes your career, because that. But he says that Island Dr. Moreau,
yeah.
I watched it. I didn't really have a problem with it.
Well, it's not just that one, but there's a couple there, where films that but that was that's the famous one where it's like it's just a super bomb.
Sure, it's super bomb here, but like, okay, you're an actor in Hollywood and you get a script and you find out that maybe Marlon Brando is going to be attached to the movie.
That's why he did it. Yeah.
Would you like who doesn't take a movie with Marlon Brando?
But it turned out Marlon Brando didn't show up half the time.
Right. Right. No, I'm
because you want to talk about difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Marlon Brando.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, it's sad that when a movie might,
But I think what ultimately killed it, wasn't necessarily the Island of Dr. Moreau, is the fact that he turned down Batman after he did that one. He talks about that as well.
He didn't like it.
He didn't like it. Yeah. So they wanted to immediately make another one. He said, "No, I don't want to do it anymore because it's not." It wasn't
what
fun.
a missed opportunity for Val Kilmer to be across from Ice Man.
Yeah.
Dangerous,
Dr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze. I am dangerous.
Well, I heard somewhere that the next Batman movie or the sequel to this Batman, is going to have Mr. Freeze in it, which would be an interesting.
Who doesn't like Mr. Freeze?
Real world kind of like, who doesn't like Mr. Freeze? Dr. Hoff. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but where I am
going to your Val Kilmer thing, Iceman was right.
He was right. Absolutely right. Yeah.
I want to be right about one thing, and that's when to take a commercial break. Oh,
and,
man.
you know, and the thing is that I want to almost say that, of course, it was a success, but you look at, in the end, the climactic battle in Top Gun, he still freezes up, you know, and leaves Iceman, you know, out there to fend for himself. Like, what would have happened?
Maverick.
Yeah, like, exactly. God damn it! Like, what would have happened within that few seconds if Iceman would have been shot down? It's like, you know, that's it. Like, he's out of the Navy. He's probably going.
But Iceman knew it. He goes, Maverick's disengaging, sir.
Yeah,
Maverick's disengaging, sir. That's what the guy says. I'm just quoting him.
I don't think he said it like that.
Yeah, but he did say it. He's back. He's back.
That guy. Yeah.
He's back. He's back. Maverick is back. Yay!
You're reminding me of John Cryer, you know, in Hot Shots. You know, it's like they put him on the radar, you know, and he shoots. He's like, oh my God, there's a dozen more of them. You know, and then a shiny blimp, a big blimp that's going south. You know?
I like an airplane. Where the guys he's like going. He's like, hey, he's over here. He's over. What an asshole! All over the place.
Yeah. 10,000 feet, 6,000 feet. Yeah, exactly.
What an asshole! Then when Johnny turns out the lights, just kidding.
That's a good put.
You wouldn't believe how many times, and of course today's, you know, people don't really get it, but like, I'll be at a restaurant, or I'll be at a diner, and someone will always say like, oh, I'll have coffee black, and I'll go, oh, just like your men, you know, and like, and they don't get it. They just look at me like, what? Like,
I see it all the time at Starbucks after somebody orders, and just nobody gets it. So.
Like, how do you not get that? Like,
I remember when my daughters were younger, because my wife likes her bacon burnt, black, crisp.
Yeah.
And they go, why are you making the bacon so dark and black and crisp? I go, I'm making the bacon like your mom likes her men.
Yeah.
And they go, burnt? I go, yes.
She's a big fan of Richard Pryor.
Yeah. Okay. Richard Pryor, you know.
Michael Jackson.
But
he did he was so fast, he put the flames out.
Yeah. They doused it with Pepsi.
Another movie I wanted to bring up, I watched this weekend, which I also recommend, is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
The Nicolas Cage movie. Yeah,
it's supposed to be really good.
It's really good. Yeah, like it's good just as if you know nothing about Nick Cage and you just want to watch a movie, it's a solid plot, it's a solid movie. But if you've seen,
how am I not in this movie?
Yeah, if you've seen, you know, tons of Nick Cage movies like I have, at some point there's almost a reference to every single film he's done, and most of them are really subtle. And so they'll go right over your head unless you see it. But like, but it goes. There's it's basically like the beginning of it's a very character driven movie. Then it goes into comedy. Then it goes into action. Like they you know, basically try to bridge all the genres.
Is it the Mandalorian's in it, right? The guy that plays Mandalorian.
Yes, and he does a great job. Yeah, he does a good job.
I'm drawing a blank on his name. I apologize.
But
Pascal, yeah, Pedro Pascal. Yeah,
Pedro Pascal.
But it's good. I definitely laughed a lot.
It's an alliteration.
It's funny you bring up Nick Cage because Cindy and I started watching The Offer on Paramount Plus.
Okay.
It's how The Godfather was made and all this different stuff. And we were talking. Right. She goes, well, how did the different things we're trying to figure out, because they referenced Diane Cannon would be perfect for this role. And so I said, well, what movie did she do? And my wife's like, Diane Cannon. I go, yeah, she was married to Cary Grant when she was young. Anyway, I said, so we figured out, they haven't said it yet, but we think it's Heaven Can Wait. That's what we think the movie is that they're talking about. But anyway, she goes, well, how do you think that, how did they get the different characters? She goes, what's her name? Who's the daughter in The Godfather? What's her name?
Maria, the Rocky's wife.
Talia Shire. What's her character?
Oh, I have no idea.
Anyway,
is it Sonny's wife?
No. He's Paulo. She's married Paulo.
Oh.
What is her name? Come on, someone in the chat.
I don't know.
Anyway, she goes, well, how do you think she got the job? I go, well, she's Francis Ford Coppola's sister.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And of course, Cindy's looking at me like I go, no, I'm serious. I swear to God. She goes, well, that's the same name. I go, a lot of people have the same name. I go, she's sister. I go, then she said something about, I go, well, Nick Cage. She goes, what about Nick Cage? I go, he's a Coppola.
Yeah.
No, he's not. You're just messing with me. I go, no. I go, in fact, in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, if you look at the credits, it's Nicholas Coppola, not Nick Cage. And she goes, why did you change his name? I go, because he's Nick Cage. I don't know why. He just.
What? Yeah. I mean, it's just like,
Connie. That's what it is. Connie.
Yeah, Connie. Yeah. Connie Corleone. Yeah. It was just like, like Charlie Sheen kept his dad's stage name, but Emilio Estevez kept his real name.
Right. Yeah. But it's if
thanks, Matt Treese. You were just a little shy.
Yeah, for once.
Just a bad.
When we needed you. Yeah.
Yeah. Way to go, Matt. Anyway, so but if you enjoy The Godfather, I think you're gonna like. Cindy thinks it's a little slow. I go, it's not gonna be. It's actually pretty. I like the behind the scenes stuff about how how stuff is made and how it gets done. And it's funny how The Godfather was, the mob didn't like it and all the different stuff. But anyway.
Okay, Treese with the 3-point shot. Her son is Jason Schwartzman, bringing it back to the Hollywood arc.
Nepotism.
I was going to say.
I didn't know that.
We've talked about that before a while back.
Have we? Probably.
Yeah, because they're both in. She makes a cameo in one of my favorite of the early 2000s, I Heart Huckabees.
Oh, I love that movie. That's a good one. Yeah,
such a good one.
It's an under the radar kind of like movie. I think a lot of people.
Yeah, I love that whole like 98 through like 2004, 2005 period where you had all these just weird conceptual movies,
weird, lighthearted, funny, drama, serious, and I Heart Huckabees. I think it suffered from the fact that there was Mike Huckabee was running for election or something like that,
Maybe,
but, it has nothing to do with him. But
it's a great cast. I mean, you have Jude Law, Dustin Hoffman, Lily Tomlin.
I forgot she was in that.
Naomi Watts. You have so many good actors.
It's been probably
Mark Wahlberg.
A decade and a half since I've seen that movie. So if you haven't, check that movie out.
Yeah, well, it's just because it's basically about existentialism and
and the environment too.
That's her son.
That's her son. Yeah. And she, and they follow him because basically Dustin Hoffman and Lily Tomlin are the existential detectives, and they follow him back and they make him confront his mom, which she's in it as is playing his real mom, and you're like, oh, look at that cute. They're sharing a scene together.
I don't think I've ever saw that movie.
It's different, but I liked it.
2004.
2004. It's very conceptual. And then I love John Bryan, who did the soundtrack. He has a very shit, who am I thinking of? What's his name? Matt, the guy that died in the shit.
Cat Stevens.
No.
He's still
dead.
I know.
Cat in the Hat.
No, he got nominated for the Grammy or the Oscar for Good Will Hunting. Fuck.
Oh,
anyway,
Matt Damon.
No, I'm talking about the sound, the song from the movie. Anyway, but John Bryan is the Bryan did the soundtrack to I Heart Huckabees, but I'm trying to think of their sounds are very similar. That very kind of mellow. Elliott Smith, thank you,
Elliott
Matt
Smith.
Treese.
That's what I was just about ready to say. Elliott Smith.
Yeah, if you're someone that likes Elliott Smith, John Bryan is very similar in they're very just mellow, melancholy type stuff.
Well, and he did the soundtrack for Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind
as well. Exactly.
That's a really good one.
He did Magnolia. He did a bunch, all roughly in that same time period. And he always plays once a month in a little club in LA. I was glad I got to go see him. It's neat how he just kind of just does what he does.
He does what he does because he does what he wants to do.
Yeah.
There you go. It is funny because the head of the Paramount at the time didn't like Lost. That's what it is. I go, why did I be obsessed with something in 2004?
The election?
I didn't start watching Lost till 2005.
Boom.
Yes, I think that's most people. You know.
Yeah. So fuck off, Mike.
Mike joined us live.
They didn't like they didn't like Al Pacino.
Oh,
they didn't want Al Pacino to play Michael.
Really? Yeah.
Well, and how they got Marlon Brando is
it's amazing that art is ever made because rich people have too many fucking opinions.
Exactly. So, yes.
Mike, I would love to go back to 2004.
Me too. Actually, can I go back to 1984? That was a good year for me.
1984, invest some money in Apple. Kick back.
Amazon not around yet, but I would do it.
Like the early scene from the movie Time Cops. Like you go back, invest, and then come back to the future.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Time
Cops. Was it Frequency that
he did Yahoo.
He invested in Yahoo. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the movie Time Cop. That's what this guy was doing in the very beginning of the movie. Is that he went back right before the stock market crashed. Or maybe it had just crashed. It's either one or the other. But he bought, he was buying a whole bunch. So when he would go back in the future, it would just be,
How did you know? I just got lucky.
Yeah. Well, I wondered how they set that up.
I'm a senator.
How would when you're going back that far in time is how do you keep the stock in your name to where you can cash it out later? Because it's how do you legally transfer it?
You put it in somebody else's name as though you're the beneficiary.
Yeah.
Yes.
You open the stock thing up as your grandfather, okay? And then you have yourself as the beneficiary.
But don't you have to hope that the grandfather doesn't piss it all away before you?
Look, I'm not a crap. I don't know time travel. You figure this out, Nick.
No, I'm spitballing here with you.
Okay. Let's keep spitballing.
What if your grandfather says, "How the hell did I get this fucking? What is this shit? I'd rather have alcohol."
Right.
And he sells the Apple stock for alcohol.
Okay.
For Apple martinis.
Okay, you don't put in the address of your grandfather. You put it in a different,
But what if someone contacts him and say, "Hey, did you realize you own 10,000 shares of Apple?"
Yeah. Well, back then you actually got paper stocks, that said, so you wonder, you get them all. It's do you put them in some kind of lock box and just
theoretically
lock box? So Al Gore is going to steal my stock. Well, he did invent the internet, so I guess that's okay.
Theoretically, though, you invest, you have that there waiting for you. And then you maybe you invest the day before your grandfather dies. It's one of those don't meet your heroes.
Okay, what if Grandma finds it?
Well, she's already dead.
We already killed her off. Okay. So then it goes.
And by the way, you put the stocks as the beneficiary. Nobody else is the beneficiary, right?
But you don't exist yet.
Maybe you do.
No,
because your grandfather's dying.
But right now, you went back in time to 1929. You don't exist.
Oh, 1929. Okay,
I would go back. Well, Apple didn't exist in 1929.
Right.
Yeah, no. If you went back to 1984, you could totally do it.
You go back to 1929. You're investing in all these. I don't know any of these stocks. What's going to hit?
I would invest in Sears and Roebuck, and then maybe sell around 2025.
Yeah,
that would be smart.
2025 doesn't even exist anymore. What?
That's all right. I'm just gonna cut to the chase because it's almost Star Wars Day. I go back to KB Toys and buy up all those Power of the Force in the package, box them up, seal them, make sure that I know that they're going to go into a building which is not going to be hit by a tornado, a hurricane, a flood, or a fire for the next 5 decades. Stick them in there, and then I come out and I'm like,
but unfortunately, you going back in time has already changed the course of history, so you don't know.
But maybe you've always gone back in time, so you don't know that.
In fact, maybe
you're always meant to go back in time.
Maybe because of that, you're never born.
Mm-hmm. That's a possibility. You could be trapped back in time, and then you're leaving all of the stuff for your future child. So you have a child, you're like, "See ya, I love you, son. I'm never going to see you again." And then you go back in time and you leave everything for him. And then you live your best life because you don't have commitments at all. You You whore it up. You go.
Everything's a party.
So you two are going with the Back to the Future, Terminator type time travel, to where you go back, and if you change something, it affects the future. Whereas if you want to go with the Marvel, the Hulk explanation is like, no, if you go back in the past, that past is your future, so you're going to continue on. So everything that was before doesn't get affected. Like,
wouldn't it be better to do the Biff way, where you have the almanac, but you go in the future? Okay, these teams have won the World Series. These teams have won the Super Bowl. These teams won the NBA championship.
Yeah,
and then so 2024 comes along. Oh, I'm going to put all my money on the Padres. I'm going to put, so you're saying.
I like how your hopes are set there. That's nice.
Well,
you gotta have dreams,
But it's
and you're going to look like a fucking genius in a couple of years when this podcast, people go back and they're like, Jack called his shot. He was fucking Babe Ruth.
He did. Now, is that the better way though than risk? Because you okay, I went back in the future. I went every year, blah, 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 blah. And because it only takes you seconds to do it.
Yeah.
So you come back. Okay, I'm ready. Hey, honey, we're gonna sell the house. We're gonna cash out the house. I'm gonna put all the money on the Reds winning the World Series, or like I said, the Rams winning the Super Bowl.
Gold. You just invested in gold. You bury it under your house, and that way, when you come back to the future,
now,
you're like,
okay. The only problem is
there it is.
What if you buy a house that people get killed in, and as they're burying the bodies?
Well, I think you would know that.
Hey, but you don't know that those are actually bodies. Like Matt could have buried something there, but he's just waiting.
Why is there a murder happening in the house that I just bought, and I know that there's no murders there?
Because you've changed. Because when you mess with time.
Oh, you're saying that there's something like I stepped on a butterfly, and therefore,
exactly,
John the UPS guy accidentally kills the
or somebody has figured out your plan, and they're trying to kill you, and they know what you're doing.
Oh, the evil leaper.
This is actually a pretty good movie. And they take your money.
Oh, fuck.
And then you have to figure out who it was. But then he became president of the United States.
Oh, shit.
So you can't get to him.
Okay. And then now he's getting like $10,000 fines for every day he's in contempt of court. And then that's all my money. I'm fucked. It's all going away.
So you get nothing. You get nothing, and
sucks.
It. No, I like that. That's a lot of fun. Dennis recommended something to me a few weeks ago, and I think I talked to you guys about it. It's called Outer Range.
Yeah, you did talk to us about it.
With who's the son? Josh Brolin, right? He's the son. Mm-hmm. Okay, he's in it.
Related to the Coppolas.
Yeah, related to this show. He said it was when he first told me. He goes, "It's a sci-fi,
it's a thriller,
Western type thing." This show is I'm really it's on Amazon Prime. I have really no clue what's going on. I mean, 6 episodes in, and I'm like going, okay, but it's really fascinating. Mm-hmm. But it's sci-fi, but there's some.
You just described Severance.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, you did. I think we used those same words to describe Severance a couple weeks ago. Check the tapes. You're watching something, you're 5 episodes in, and you're still like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, because you think you know it, because it has a...
Still describing Severance.
It has a realistic part.
Uh-huh.
But then it has the sci-fi part. There's a big hole in the ground that's causing all kinds of problems.
Okay, that's not it.
And it has time travel.
Matt's marriage.
Fuck you. Jesus. My marriage. Jeez. Big
Those
hole
bodies
in the ground.
next door, there's a big hole. Anyway, I recommend it because, especially if you like mystery and the sci-fi stuff, you're going to like this show. So
okay.
I think Dennis for recommending it because
it's on my list to watch next. I'm going to finish up Ozark and then I have so many.
Ozark just came back with their final season. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And just in time, because Netflix is like clearing out the cachet. They're like, fuck y'all, we're not renewing anything ever again for the end of time.
They are. They're raising their rates.
I'm worried that Russian Doll is not going to have a season 3. I haven't finished season 2, But upon the recommendation of the other two podcasters, and jumping off of what Jack said, I dove deeper into Russian Doll. I finished watching season 1, really enjoyed it. Started watching season 2. I'm really excited about that show. So thanks for everybody that said that it was a good show and recommended it in the past.
I don't like the fact that Russian Doll ends up in Ukraine. I don't like that.
Got annexed.
I think we made that joke last week, Jack. So,
did
but
you?
You weren't there.
I was not here. Okay.
Previously on the Ramblecast, Matt made a joke about Russia.
Last week I was like going, I have nothing to watch, but I have that Lakers show to watch.
Winning Time. How many episodes are in Winning Time? Like what is? Give us a viewpoint of this.
7 or 8.
Okay.
And a lot of it I remember. I mean, a lot of because I became. Matt made that joke last week. I feel like shit because I made that joke. I mean, God, I wish I would have listened to the show.
If anyone is familiar with Jack's comedy, we know that some things are going to repeat, right?
But because the Clippers were in San Diego then, so like I said, I remember a lot of the stuff going on. But it's just, like I think I said before, if you're Jerry West, you're not going to like this. If you're Magic Johnson, you're not going to like this. If you're Jerry West, well, you're dead. But you're still not going to like this. There's really not anybody that's halfway, except maybe Pat Riley. Pat Riley's kind of okay, but the rest are just terrible, terrible fucking people. It's just bad, bad fucking people. But it's interesting. It's fascinating. But anyway,
and this show is on HBO Max. The other show that I just checked out on HBO Max, within the same vein of like maybe sci-fi, horror, and just simply what the fuck. I don't know if anybody else has watched The Baby, but
I saw that advertised.
Yeah, I just watched the second episode. Just dropped on Sunday.
I mean,
and
when I saw the previews, if that baby is not a serial killer, I'm going to be really disappointed.
It is fucking creepy as fuck. And I like it for the fact that I've always enjoyed like The Omen, like the Omen movies. I like to watch those back in the day. They're kind of like horror movies. And it kind of takes it one step further where you're like, what the fuck is with this baby and why are all of these evil things happening around this child? So
did the kid from The Omen ever do anything else?
I don't know. That's a good question for another day.
Because this one's Gregory Peck and who's it? Lee Remick? Is it Lee Remick?
Not related to my story, but okay, fine.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm done.
No. Finish the baby because I sounds like it's something.
There's only 2 episodes, so if you haven't checked it out, the fact that there are 2, and by the end of the second episode, you're like, "What? I want more." I felt like with the second episode, it really opened up.
Is the baby a good actor?
Well, so far, the baby's a great actor. I don't know how long the show can last because eventually that baby's going to age. And they've already established some certain.
You bring in a new baby.
Yeah. But, anyway, if you enjoy horror and sci-fi stuff that just makes you kind of go, "What?" This might be the show for you.
That's Outer Range.
Also, kind of an interesting horror concept in the fact that a woman
is
all of a sudden bestowed upon a baby that she can't get rid of. So, and and just the fact that all of these deaths keep happening around her because of the baby.
So is she the jinx or is the baby the jinx?
The baby is the jinx, but she has now gotten this baby that has all of these horrible things.
But it's not her baby?
It's not her baby. And that's I feel like I've already said enough to get people to kind of like maybe watch it without spoiling anything. But there are definitely some moments as I was watching the episode that I was like, "Oh, that is fucking creepy as shit." Like, so I liked kind of being spooked by things, even though some of the moments in the show are very like over the top, can't be, or funny, or just, you're like, "What? That can't be. Oh, that's just ridiculous." And then it lures you in, and then you're like, "Whoa, that is." So it's
a scary.
It has a scary. Yeah, it has a scary premise.
I don't know if I can. I don't know.
It's not that. It's humorous, and it's only 30 minutes long. I'm not telling Jack to watch this, but maybe some listeners out there that are curious about this show and on the fence, I found it fun, and if you have HBO Max, check it out.
Is there a way to block people in the chat?
You really want to block Miami Mike? I mean, he's dropping fire right now.
Miami Mike can kiss my ass. You know, it's funny you bring up the bit. Did you guys ever see that Saturday Night bit when Bill Murray first started? It was they were filming a movie and they had the baby, and they go, "Okay, bring in the stunt baby." So they bring this other baby in. It's a doll. They're banging it on the thing. Boom, 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 boom. You're doing great. You're doing great. I'll never forget that. Bring in the stunt baby. Beat the shit out of the baby. It's one of those funny things that you probably couldn't do today because
no God, yeah.
Oh my God,
I saw something. Yeah, I mean, you know, maybe you could still do it because clearly HBO Max is doing something with this baby show that I was just like, I didn't think you could make a baby seem so terrifying and yet cute. So there you go.
Until it poops, right?
Until it poops. I'm trying to remember the other show that I got sucked into. Oh, I watched. All right, so maybe I talked about this last week. I think I did. I talked about The Flight Attendant and how it was just okay.
You talked to it afterwards with me.
Yeah, I was just kind of like meh on it. Yeah. Oh yeah, and that's right. I talked to you, and you liked The Flight Attendant.
I love The Flight Attendant, and we're watching season 2 right now. Again, I didn't think I was going to like it, and I did.
Okay, so I was kind of more like I had it on the background, and maybe that's why it didn't.
No, you have to pay attention to it because there's a lot going on.
Well, I was listening as I was working on art or what have you, but when it switched to season 2, I liked the way the character changes, or like the life changes that were happening to the character, and so I kind of liked how season 2 began, and I was actually more interested in season 2 than I was in season 1. Go figure. Okay. So, those are the shows that I've been watching. Looking forward to. I don't know. I hope there is some Star Wars fun stuff that's dropped on Disney Plus tomorrow. I know Moon Knight is finishing.
That's right. Yeah.
Tomorrow, with just as good as Sunday. Sunday.
Yeah, I hope Moon Knight ends well. You know.
Well, we had an email from Maggie.
An email?
Yes.
Oh, wait, not from Randy?
No, Randy. He hung up his hat. He said, "You know what? I've tried to make this show funnier, and I just can't. You know, it's like pouring
How can you make it funnier when we have Matt?"
Thank you, Jack. Oh, that's so sweet. I thought you cared. By the way, for the listeners out there, Jack had mentioned that he really missed recording with Nick and I, but funnily enough, not Chris.
Yeah.
I did say that. I just, I miss you guys. It's my guy talk once a week.
Oh yeah, no. You weren't here for the big thank you I did to the patrons last week, where I said, "Thank you, patrons, for making how did I phrase it, Nick?" Nick's like, "I wasn't paying fucking attention to you." I was thanking the patrons for my emotional support. Like, I have this weekly thing that I do with you guys, and this is not only is it my guy time, but it's my talk time. I feel like why did the chair
see, Nick doesn't understand because he's single. He doesn't have kids. He's single, so he's happy.
Oh, he's happy. He's all free and happy by himself, living, all work and no play makes Nick a good boy.
Is Matt
Randy,
drunk again?
I'm not drunk yet. So
I'm drinking water.
Moon Knight.
Oh, Mike said something about wearing shoes with no socks. Today Cindy and I went out to dinner and I wore shoes with no socks.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you were just kind of like, it was a throwback.
Didn't you get like all toe jam and they're all weird feeling?
Nah, it wasn't that long. So
just like Maggie's email that I'm going to read now.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Moon Knight. Hey, Jack, Matt, Chris, and Nick. I don't know. I should put you last.
I know she always puts me first. So
I'm listening to you talk about Moon Knight. There are some theories that we did see the third personality, Jake, something in episode 5. It says Jake something in episode
from State Farm.
I'm not sure what Jake. Yeah.
What's he wearing?
There was a scene with Oscar Isaac with a broken nose, and then the broken nose was gone in later scenes.
Wait, the nose was gone, or the broken nose?
The broken nose was gone.
Wait, did he have tape? Did he have tape on it?
You know what? Maybe you should watch the show.
Yeah, I'm just asking because if he's broken nose, you can go like this and fix it without anyone knowing.
Well, that was one of those conversations too, Matt, where like you and I kind of wanted to explore the potential for having a third personality.
Yes.
And then Chris just shot it down. It's like, no, there's only two. And they're like,
there's only two. There could only be two.
And I was like, well,
this is on Disney?
I think there's
it's on Disney Plus. Yeah.
It's called Moonstruck.
Moon Knight. Moon Knight. Not a Nicolas Cage movie.
Cher comes out and is like, yeah.
Get over it.
If anyone has multiple personalities, it's Cher. So.
All right. There's more to Maggie's email. She says, I like Moon Knight. I'm thinking it's going to tie into the next Thor movie more than Doctor Strange, but we'll know more this weekend. Maggie Moon Knight, LOL. So thank you, Maggie, for writing into the show. And if you want to write into the show with whatever you want to talk about, listener, send us your emails to rcadcast@gmail.com. Thanks, Maggie. Gmail. Thanks.
Gmail.
What, really, Siri? You responded to that? Okay. I found this on the web.
Dropped into his Richard Nixon impression.
I did? I have a Richard Nixon impersonation?
No.
Thanks, Maggie, for the email.
Yeah.
Thanks, Maggie, for the email. Appreciate it.
Wilbur, come in the room.
There was a third personality, and it's not going to be me.
See?
Stop the tape. Stop the tape. Why am I taping myself when I'm doing something illegal? I don't know.
Stop the texts. Stop the texts.
Because it makes for a better movie down the road. Eisenhower never taped himself. That's if you can't pick on Nixon, you have to.
Yeah, I mean, who can you pick on, really?
If he wasn't so paranoid, he probably would have gone down as a really good president.
Now, Randy, do you really think Jack was suspended?
Nick Cage.
Yeah, Randy says that he didn't send us an email because he thought Jack was suspended. I don't know. Nick Cage was in Nixon. Nice callback. And you know what Nick Cage was also in? I Heart Huckabees. Mind blown.
Was he in Nixon?
Was he in I Heart Huckabees?
Yeah, he's listed as the cast. He's listed as the cast. He's listed as
Who was he in Nixon? Was he Nixon? Did he play Nixon?
Oh, in Nixon? Let's see.
Well, no, first answer, who was he in I Heart Huckabees? I don't remember in I Heart Huckabees.
I don't know. He was just listed on the IMDb.
He was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
I mean, it makes sense. He's a Coppola, so like they probably got all threw him in there. So he's probably just got a random cameo.
Was Phoebe Cates a Coppola? That's how she got the part.
I'm looking at the all cast and crew right now here to get to the bottom of this. So, because that's what we do on this podcast.
Nick Cage sounds like your Nixon impression.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it was actually I was trying to invoke adaptation.
But wait, was he talking about me or you? Because we were both kind of. I thought yours was a little better.
In the massive weight or the whatever massive talent, the unbearable weight of massive talent. Like that's one of my favorite
references.
Is that like there's so many in it that unless you've seen the movie, you won't get it. But there's a scene where they're both Pedro and Nick Cage are on acid, and they're trying to think of writing a screenplay, and they're basically using the same lines from adaptation. It's like, well, we're doing all these scenes, but what's it about? Like, it's like it's like, oh, I was like, oh, they're doing adaptation here, and it's and so like I think like it kind of skips from different plot line to plot line. It's interesting.
And that's on Netflix.
That's in theaters.
Oh, it's on theaters.
Oh,
yeah,
that's weird. I don't see him listed in the IMDb for I Heart Huckabees, but on Google they list.
Did you check
Google?
Coppola?
I don't. Yeah, he might have been like a producer or something. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows why Google's doing it? Maybe it's a promotional thing. So
the Nixon movie that Anthony Hopkins did was actually really good.
That's right.
Yeah,
it's a little dark.
Yeah, dark. Yeah, but you were talking about like he why was he so paranoid? I mean, I think the movie did a good job of kind of getting into the psychology of Nixon, of why he was the way he was. He always had inferiority complex, and everyone was out to get him. And
the election was stolen from him by the Kennedys, so
by the Kennedy, yeah.
Him off.
Like, you guys are better at the Nixon accent than I am, but like
that's what he believes. That he believed that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
That's what he told me.
The best line in that movie to me was, towards the end when he's looking at the famous picture of Kennedy, the painting where he's looking down, and he's, just dwelling on it. And he goes, when they look at you, they see what they want to be. When they look at me, they see what they are. And it's like, I always loved that line.
The original line was, "You should have ducked."
Shit.
You should have ducked, kid. I told you. Duck. Never go in a car with Conley. He's an asshole.
Oh my gosh.
You see the guy with the umbrella?
Who opens an umbrella? Did you guys ever watch? I think I mentioned it before. It came out probably 5 years ago. 11/22/63.
Oh yeah.
Really
good.
With,
actually, Jack
James
was the
Franco.
one that. Yeah, Jack was the one that turned me onto that. He was like, "You have to watch this," and I was like,
"It's a good series." Yeah,
I was like, "Okay."
It's a good book too, Stephen King. Yeah.
It's excellent. And the who doesn't like the girl that plays the part?
Oh my God, she's so gorgeous. Yeah, Sarah Gadon or something like that. The blonde, she's smoke show.
Yes, not that I noticed because what happened to Matt? Did a bear come in or something?
I think so.
Some background for him.
He had really bad gas or something. Who knows? We can talk shit about it all the time.
No, Mike, it wasn't too soon. It was back in 1963. It's been 58 years, so almost 59 years. It would come up on 59 years here soon. Enough time has passed. Should I have done Lincoln?
It's funny though how time, as you get older, your thoughts about time change. Because when you're a kid, time passes really slowly. And I was trying to explain it to someone. I was like, it's because everything you do when you're a kid is new experiences. So you remember things very specifically of like everything's a new event to you. But when you get older, because of work and kids and everything else, like you don't really have as many new experiences. You're kind of just doing repetition. So like the years pass by quickly, more quickly to you than when you were younger. And then like just
it goes fast when you're older. I mean, it just like
well, it's
zoom,
like
zoom.
Like just going back to game consoles, for example. Like if I play a Nintendo 64 game, to me, even though I know it's a 25-year-old game console, I don't think of it as an old gaming console. But if I was talking to some kid that was born in 1991, they'd be like, "Those games are out when I was like 5." And so it's just like, but it's just the way you think about things.
I was thinking about this whole, is it too soon or not? And we talked about traveling back in time. Now, would be wrong if I went back to like say Ford Theater on April 15th and told Mary Todd, "Hey, can you scoot over? I'm gonna take a selfie right now."
They probably how much? What the hell is that in your hand? Yeah.
How much would that be worth?
Wait, so you're not going to save Lincoln. You want the photo.
I can't.
Of Lincoln getting his head blown off.
I can't change time because that fucks everything up.
Right? I like how I would do all of the parties involved. I would meet Lincoln outside of the theater. I would sit next to Mary Todd, and then I would also like talk to John Wilkes Booth, before the show too, and get a selfie with him. Yeah, they would probably be like, "What is this magical device in your hand that has a mirror?" Exactly. Yeah.
Trust me, it's gonna be great. Or like in Kennedy, I could be
mirror you have.
Maybe I could be the driver. I could be the driver.
But if you brought it back with you, though, nothing would work on it except for the camera and your clock. That would be it.
Yeah.
So,
the camera would still work.
Yeah, the camera would work, and everything else. Like you couldn't say to someone like, "Hey, look at use my maps," because you couldn't use it because you don't have GPS.
Well, that's what I'm not going for that. I'm going to take the picture of
the picture.
I just imagine somebody is like, "Fuck, I can't get my email now." Whatever, and they just throw their phone away. That's bullshit.
But wouldn't that be a cool selfie?
No.
Why not?
Dude, look.
All right, Mary, what do you want? Just scoot over. Just give me like 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Okay. Should be someone coming through that door any minute now because the bodyguard's over at the bar. So
I would like to go back in time and just videotape the moment where George Washington lied to his dad about the cherry tree. Just videotape.
He's lying. He's lying. There was at the Padre game the first night, Eric Hosmer, you know how they warm up in between innings? Well, he throws the ball into the dugout, and Sean Manaea was in. There's 4 pitchers sitting there. He hit Sean Manaea like in the head with the ball, and because he wasn't looking, and he's like, so we all stood up and said, "It was Hosmer. Eric Hosmer threw the ball." We ratted him out. So anyway,
this is why I wouldn't play baseball. You know, too many flying balls. So
yeah, you don't like your balls flying.
I don't like hard balls.
You like your balls. You like your balls
Soft
in
balls.
place, right? You like your balls just hanging there, right?
Hanging there, sweaty, hairy, and long.
What else could you go back in time and take a selfie? Who would you take a selfie with?
John Lennon. You know,
as he's getting shot.
No, jeez, you're fucking sick, dude.
That is way too soon, man.
You did it. You said that. I just said John Lennon.
We were talking about people dying.
I was talking about John Lennon. I would like to get a picture with John Lennon. You know,
fun fact. Cool. Fun fact.
Yeah.
On Today in History, 1976 is the last time Paul McCartney and John Lennon met.
Wow.
Really? Wow. Wild and wacky.
They got a donut.
Mike said he'd like a selfie with Marilyn Monroe during her famous dress photo.
You mean on the set of it was a 7-year itch.
Some Like It Hot. No,
it's 7-year itch.
7-year itch, yeah. When she's over this, yeah. Some Like It Hot's the one with Tony.
Boy, as a 13-year-old boy, I thought I was going to get a lot more Marilyn in that. So, and Miami Mike says Jack just wants selfies at all the assassinations.
Well, because you go back to Julius. You go back to Rome, Julius Caesar.
Yeah, Julius Caesar.
Hold on a second.
That's a good one.
Okay, you want to turn around, Julius? So your
Franz
backside,
Ferdinand.
So I can get your backside there, Julius. No, not your ass. I want basically.
I mean, you really just focused on the Kennedy and Lincoln. You weren't like, oh, McKinley. You know, it's like McKinley, the forgotten president.
It's like, okay, it's like, how do people? It's like, I don't know.
They're like, oh, it's just a mountain.
Garfield.
People call it Denali anyway. Fuck Mount McKinley.
What about who was the president gave the long speech and died?
Harrison. Yeah, the only Indiana president.
I could be up there with like Harrison like this, going, okay, you might want to cut this speech short. Just cut it. Okay, you've been talking like it's fucking freezing. It's fucking cold. You're gonna get sick and you're gonna die. But I gotta get this selfie.
And Garfield.
Garfield. Yeah.
You know, there's gonna be a cat named after you.
And you're gonna hate Mondays. So deal with it.
Yes, he's talking about the Marilyn photo where her dress flies up. Then you'd have Joe DiMaggio off screen. He'd hit you with a baseball bat.
Yeah. There you go.
Mr. Coffee was married to her, so.
Right.
And you never asked Joe DiMaggio, I've heard, you never asked him anything about Marilyn Monroe. He would never talk to you again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
If you could ask Joe DiMaggio one question about Marilyn Monroe, what would it be?
Did you call her Norma Jean or Marilyn?
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that one.
I know. That's a tough one, you know, because is it going to be something, you know?
I mean, there's a line you don't cross. I mean, you can take selfies of people being assassinated, but you don't ask somebody about their wife or ex-wife.
Wow. Okay.
That's just wrong. I mean, that's the lack of class. Am I right?
I would be curious.
Plus, he doesn't look like a fun guy that you want to hang out with.
Joe DiMaggio,
yeah. He just.
I mean, if you're gonna hang out with a Yankee, it's gonna be Mickey Mantle. I mean, he knows how to party.
You go with Mickey and Whitey Ford and Billy Martin, just get hammered every night.
Okay, if you could time travel to 1 year within the 20th century, what year? It's a hard one. You can time travel back to 1 year. You can enjoy the entire year, all you want to, but you got 1 year in all of the 20th century. Where do you go? What do you do? Wow. What year? I know that's a tough one. It's like
am I hanging out with somebody, or is it? Just,
you can do whatever you want to for that year. I mean, like if I off the top of my head, I'm thinking 1969. I can see the moon landing. I can go to Woodstock.
I saw the moon landing.
Okay, you did. I didn't.
I don't have to go back in time to see that. I saw it.
You could YouTube that right now, man.
No, but I want to be there for the experience.
You want to watch a grainy black and white thing.
But I can propose this question. You can shit on my answer.
But look, Cooper shot that shit, and then
no, because we didn't know any better about, you didn't have high definition TV. I'm saying the moon landing was very cool, very exciting.
And then you want to go to a hot, muddy concert where the music wasn't even really that good. What the hell, man?
No, I don't know that. Woodstock. No, I wouldn't do too crowded.
Dirty hippies.
I would totally procreate. It caused some mass confusion and the whole time stream thing. I'm just putting 69 out there.
Yeah.
As an option.
Bet you are.
Hey, you know what next episode's going to be? Episode 169.
The Mets won the World Series.
Mm-hmm. I could be on an episode of Mad Men. Yeah, I mean, all good things.
Well, Mad Men was filmed not in 69.
I know.
You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
To me, it's probably going to be 1966 or 1942, 43, somewhere in there.
Really, during the war.
During the war, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just to see that, just to experience that whole time. Like the culture, what's going on.
Why not 45? You get to see the bomb dropped. People are happy in the streets. You get to just put on a sailor suit and make love to every woman that comes off the.
It's true.
Read the chat.
The sheep.
There were plenty of sheep around in Woodstock. I guarantee it. So
maybe go back to Civil War time or something like that and say, hey.
He said 20th century though.
Oh, 20th century. Oh, yeah.
I like Matt Tree's comment. You'll be constantly asking people the full date and saying nice. I assume he's talking about 1969. Randy mentions nice. And then Randy mentions get back sessions. I just stumble into Abbey Road. Oh, I see that you guys are having a little squabble here. Maybe I can help. And they're like, who the fuck is this guy? I'm like,
but you're allowed to be there.
I'm allowed to be there. Yeah.
You're allowed. That's all I'd say. Hey, Yoko's over here.
You imagine the thing is, it's
one of those things.
What about her?
She's just a
Have you heard her scream?
Now, what I mean, but the thing is, here's the thing. Like, what if your education was in actual music or soundboard engineer or something like that from today, and then you go back to say 1963, and then you get a job at EMI, and then you work at EMI throughout the 60s, and so you're that guy during get back sessions. I can't do the accent like you, Matt, but if you're like, so Paul, I see that John's a little strung out on heroin, and what if you took Get Back and you did this,
but he only gets. Do you get the whole decade, or you don't?
No. You just get 1 year. Sorry, dude.
You only get 1 year.
Yeah. 1 year. Oh, I see that George has a really good song. We should really include this, guys. This All Things Must Pass might be a thing. That would be really good.
Really well, though.
Maybe I go. We're talking about Marilyn Monroe. Maybe I go hang out with her for a year.
Mike says Jack would choose 1980 so he could get that selfie with Lennon before he got shot.
No, it's too soon, Mike.
And he'd be rocking that full head of hair.
Yeah,
he'd
be right in between. When he's signing the record for him, like Jack should be there.
Right. See ya.
All right, there's gonna be a shot here. Oh, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. No, that's too
push soon, Yoko.
Oops, Yoko. Why don't you come up here for a second, Yoko?
Sorry. And then you go back in time. You learn that like John like totally went down the wrong path. He ended up like making really bad decisions. He was Trump's running mate. Like all of these horrible things that Lennon did because Yoko wasn't there.
He couldn't be Trump's running mate. Wasn't born in America.
Or was he?
Oh, if I've changed time. I don't know.
It changed the time stream.
That's a great question. That's a fantastic
I mean,
question.
It's a fun idea. You get to go back for a whole year. Like, do you go back to 1929 and fix the... You're like, I can fix this, guys. Don't commit suicide.
Do you go back and try and kill Hitler? That's the whole thing.
No, you can't try and kill. No.
Yeah. You can't kill anybody?
No, I mean, you can't kill like that because that's been a debated thing many times.
Yeah,
it's like if you go back and kill Hitler, then you rob the world of so much that is a result of World War II because like the technology and like we never go to the moon, we never invent like so many things that because
we never blow people
up. I just want to see this, okay, Hollywood, if you're listening, which I know you aren't, but make a movie where time travel goes back and just kills Hitler. Let's see it. We want to see it.
Yeah.
Just show us. Like, I want to live in that. Like,
I mean, Tom Cruise tried.
I don't care if the guy comes up to him while Hitler's giving the famous waving arm speech. Boom! Just pops him right there. Boom! Right there. And then he's down. Like, it would be cool. It'd be cool to see that. Like, or well, I guess they did that with.
But this has always been my argument. I say you rolled it because eventually we would have gone to the moon. You guys might have been alive to see it. All right.
I know.
Eventually it would have happened, but we would, I think you roll the dice and you take a chance and see what happens.
Harrison Ford got his autograph.
Harrison Ford got Hitler's autograph?
Yeah, he did.
What? You're fucking with me. What are you talking about?
From
Harrison Ford?
No. It's from Last Crusade.
Oh, yeah, Last Crusade. Okay. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's one of those tense scenes, he's got the Grail diary, and he's like he signs it,
and then he's got the gun in the back of what is it, Elsa? Is that her name?
Yeah.
I think it's Elsa. Yeah. So before she became an ice queen.
Leave it, Elsa. Leave it.
Oh, she was so hot.
Yeah. What if you just went back in time and if you can't kill him, say, okay, lose the mustache.
You killed the mustache for a whole generation,
because nobody can wear this mustache.
You convince Hitler. You convince Hitler. You convince Hitler to wear a hairstyle you don't like. Like you're like, okay, Hitler, I'm just telling you, mutton chops. Okay, just hear me out. Mutton chops would be cool. Then you get these mutton chops and a mullet. On Hitler, that'd be really great.
This Herman Gary guy, don't hang around with him. He's not a good guy. Lose him.
Please. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely one of those things. Like, where do you go? Do you go before World War II, after World War II, during World War II, the height of the 80s? Or I don't know. That's a fun one. So
there's a lot. I mean, yeah.
Maybe you hang around.
Well, especially the teens, because like if you go back, because if you go back around the time the Titanic sinks, because there's so many things that happen. Like you have the creation of the Federal Reserve. You look at the Woodrow Wilson years, like how many things that are strange things that happened, like within World War One. It's like, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that if you wanted to prevent stuff, it's like
Nick's entire time travel would be about fixing the government's problems.
Exactly. Just fix the government.
It's like,
but the problem is you're fixing the government, but the same people back in the 20s are still running the government today.
It starts with Nick going back and like fixing slavery.
What if you went back? Okay, what if you?
He convinces the founding fathers, like, okay, guys,
yeah,
I know this is a hard pull, but you're gonna have to do this. Like, it's just not.
You'd have to go all the way back. Yeah.
What if you? But you said, okay, you have Washington was smart enough to say, okay, 8 years is enough. You should step down. What if you said, okay, the senators and Congress people there should be limits on how long they can be in office.
Let's
put it in this whole declaration thing, okay?
Well, that's the way it was originally. Not limits, but the senators were not directly elected by popular vote until the 20th century, and they were appointed by the state legislatures.
Yeah, John just gave me I would go back and talk with Gene Klein, who owned the Chargers before he sold to Spanish, and said, "Don't sell it to that fuck. Let me buy the team on credit." Actually, you know what? I have all the stock options.
He's like
my grandfather was so shrewd and left me all this money, so I will buy the Chargers.
Oh, okay, man who's wearing strange clothes.
Hey, can I go back and kill? No, I can't say that. That's wrong.
Yeah, that's right. Will Fry makes a good point. We would die if we went back. We'd get polio because we're not vaccinated.
I'd wear a mask.
That's not gonna happen with polio, man. You're still getting fucked.
I'm vaccinated for polio.
You might be.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. I am.
But Nick and I would not be.
Even though I don't have
Will even says if Matt, Nick, or I, not Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah, he even says it.
I don't have that thing that everybody else has.
My mom had that. Yeah,
everyone has it. I don't have it.
Yeah,
but I know it's in line to get the shot, so I could go back in time and not have to worry about catching polio.
But you might have to get smallpox.
Randy, I would get a selfie with Abigail Adams with a naked Thomas Jefferson sitting right next to her. They hooked up. That's Laura Linney.
I don't think it will happen in Ozark, but I really want Laura Linney's character to die because she's so awful.
That might be the next. That might be a show that I haven't watched any of Ozark yet. I'm going through some different shows right now as I'm kind of like I said, I just dove into Russian Doll. Have you watched? Has anybody else watched Russian Doll?
I was first season.
Yeah, Jack recommended it a while back. I watched the first 2 or 3 episodes and then just didn't never pick it back up.
There's something that happens. There's something that happens in the 4th episode that opens it all up. So, and if you like Harry Nielsen, which I know you do, you got to get up. You got to get.
I played. Yeah, I played because I remember when Jack recommended Russian Doll because I played. You got to get up.
I think you did. Yeah.
On the show.
Because it's on every episode, right?
Yeah, it's the opener. Yeah.
The Spanish flu. Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. 1917.
Well, I don't have to go back to 19. I don't have to go back there.
Yeah. I'm
roaring 20s. No,
I'm probably gonna land somewhere in the 60s.
Yeah.
That's
why I chose 66.
You're still a 60s child.
I love the 60s. I grew up loving the 60s. I think in a past life I died in the 60s. So I don't know.
Do you have a birthmark anywhere?
Do I have a birthmark anywhere? Mm-hmm. My right hand?
No, other than that, I mean like a skin. I always love the theory that if you have a birthmark, it's you died of some kind of trauma, like force blunt trauma, in your previous life, and it's where it bleeds over.
I think my right hand qualifies for that. I mean, it's a pretty big difference there.
I used to have one on my wrist. I don't know where to go.
So,
I don't know.
I have more things that I'd like to talk about, but let's just say I don't feel like I can say it to the free crowd here.
But that's why I chose 66 versus 69 is because I felt 66 is
the devil's year.
Well, it's the peak of the 60s before it got commercialized.
That's when you can get laid with a bunch of women and not get STDs.
Well, when you talk about when you see those interviews or read about like San Francisco, for example, they always say 66 is really the year of San Francisco. So because by 67, it's when like all the college dropouts started showing up, and the city of love was pretty much over at that point. So
could we go back and stop Vietnam?
Ooh.
That you have to go.
Yeah, you'd have to.
Well,
somehow stop
I know that,
the French occupation of Vietnam in order to prevent the U.S. occupation.
Well, the French, what the French didn't want to get rid of, they wanted to stay after World War II. They wanted to stay there, right? That was the thing, and everyone wanted them out. They just said, no.
This is a colony, and we have this.
Did you ever watch Heart of Darkness? It's a documentary. Heart of Darkness is speaking of Coppola, bringing it full circle again. Heart of Darkness is a documentary about the making of Apocalypse Now, and and it's really good. It's actually probably better than Apocalypse Now, but that's where Coppola's original idea. Sorry, the original idea for Apocalypse Now was to do a history movie of Vietnam. Just admit it.
Mike says, just admit it, Nick. You want to see the premiere of Batman on TV in 1966?
Yeah, dude.
Or Star Trek. And by the way, Treast also mentions it'd be cool to see a ton of those classic movies on the big screen. I think we've hit our peak with our audience here, who just wants to go back in time and watch TV and movies. like we're like, yeah, all you people are good, but I really want to see 2001 on the big screen, guys. At the premiere on acid.
On acid, yeah.
The brown stuff.
But in Heart of Darkness, Jack, there's a scene that got cut from the movie where Martin Sheen, the beginning part of his mission, goes to visit this really rich French family who are basically are colonizers in Vietnam, and they refuse to leave. It's like, no, even though the French are no longer in Vietnam, it's like, this is our land. This is our property. These are, all these things. And like the amount of pride that these people had, this snobbishness of, like the colonizer mindset. And it's like, but it's just, and that's what I mean, like, where Coppola originally was going with the film, and then it all kind of got scrapped, and you got what we ended up getting.
Well, that happened with a lot of places because, the kingdoms were breaking down and people didn't want to leave.
Right.
Kind of like the listeners of this podcast, like they don't want to leave. John, the retired UPS guy, says, "How about going forward and ending this podcast?"
We did go forward. We did go forward, John. It never ends.
And John, Chris isn't here, so we can go as long as we fucking want.
Right.
I am done with school officially, by the way. So that was
already.
Yeah, Monday was my last day of teaching for the semester. So tomorrow is grading. So all I have to do is just sober up tomorrow morning and grade for my students. What are the odds? When am I ever sober? No, by the way, this is actually the first time I've had a drink in like five days. I feel like an alcoholic admitting that, like, oh, this is the first drink I've had. But I'm such a mild, like, honestly, like listeners that listen to the show, I drink sometimes
to excess.
To excess. No, I mean, I drink when we hang out and when we're not hanging out.
Well, I think I said a couple of months ago. I said I think I've had a drink every day for like the last 30 days, and then I just stopped.
I was kind of like that. I was like having a drink every night, and I wanted a break, and I had a break, and then tonight I was like, oh shit, I got a podcast with Jack, so I was like, oh, I guess I'll just drink.
I got a drink. That's a drinking. That's a. Well, one thing on the drive is because I want to get a motorhome. And I want to travel around, stuff like that. So he's like, yeah. And after we got back, my back is just killing me. I mean, just killing me. And I just said, okay, you win. We can't get. I can't do it. I can't. There's just no way. I mean,
not with your back.
7-hour drive, and I'm like, I can't get up. The kids are running around. I go, stop running.
I bet all of that vibration and like your sciatica, and on your spine, like it probably.
Literally, at one point, my right foot was, I couldn't feel it. So I put on cruise control. I couldn't feel my foot. I'm like going, she goes, what's wrong? I go, I can't feel my foot. I said, "Oh, maybe I should stop driving. I don't know." But to be fair though, I don't drive that much anymore. So.
Oh, okay.
So I forgot to tell the best story.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So this last week.
Wait. Can we just pause for a moment for another commercial break?
Yes.
Well, Jack, what is that story?
All right. So we took our car in because we have a maintenance package and to get the oil change and tires rotated for our trip. And so we took it in late. So they gave you a loaner car. They gave us a Lexus hybrid.
Ooh, okay.
Because my car gets shitty gas mileage. It just does. This car gets like 45 or 50 miles to the gallon. I said, is there a chance that they may? Because one time they fucked up and we had to take the rental car we went to Atlantic City. So no, it didn't happen. But we picked up the car when we went to Panera to get something to eat. Came back out. I kept hitting the start. I go, the fuck? I mean, like 20 times. The seat's going back and I go, is the fucking key in the car? What the fuck's going on? I'm getting mad. And Cindy goes, get out of the way. Let me drive. I go, no, I know how to. I've been starting our car for the last 5 fucking years. Forgot it's a hybrid. So when it starts up, it doesn't make any noise.
Oh.
So I'm like going, the fuck is wrong with this stupid car? I go, great. We're going to have to call them up. They're going to have to come pick us up. And all of a sudden I hit reverse. I go, oh, it's moving. Oh. So anyway, that was my story I was going to tell last week, but I couldn't because I wasn't here.
Oh, yeah. And for the listeners that don't know, sometimes we hang out after we stop recording, as Nick and I did, and we proceeded to talk about probably Lego, Star Wars, and something else. But Jack jumped on, and we actually got to talk with Jack for just a little brief minute there. Yeah.
I'd taken a couple chewies and stuff, so I was like,
oh, nice.
I was a little spacey, but
yeah, worse internet than I do.
Huh?
Then you had worse internet than I do.
I did, didn't I? Well, it was free.
Sure. Yeah, all that free internet. So
actually, I think I paid for it. Paid $5, which was stupid because I went to bed like a half hour later. The next day we're getting up and I'm moving. And Anyway. Fuck you, Miami Mike. Jack wants to go back in time when you could hear a car engine.
My neighbor always complains about my hybrid because he's always like, I can't tell if you're sneaking up on me to hit me or kill me.
Is this the neighbor with the dead bodies?
No. This is Bob.
You sure that's not your wife?
Okay. I don't even know where to begin. Okay, my neighbor that has the dead bodies. I'm not like BFF.
You
admit that he has dead bodies.
Okay. Side.
So why can't I send an anonymous letter?
Yeah.
And just say, hey, do you know you have dead bodies in your backyard?
I mean, that would be really kind of funny to see the look on my neighbor's face as he's opening up and reading this letter, because I imagine it's like it says like, dear so-and-so, I want to inform you that you have dead bodies buried in your backyard, possibly underneath your parking pad or your shed. Sincerely anonymous.
Yeah. Sincerely anonymous from Colorado.
Why do you want them to think that you're high?
Because what are you gonna do?
Yeah, right. But I think the postmark would still say Indiana though.
Oh,
unless he drove all the way to Colorado to sit.
No, it would say
North Carolina. It would say
North Carolina.
It'd say the state that it comes out of. Wherever.
I think it'd be interesting to see what they do after they get the letter.
Yeah, it would be. They probably would do nothing because they're not going to tell their kids about it,
and they're not going to spend the money to dig it all up.
Yeah.
So
you hire someone to come out and do a little. Doot, 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 doot. Whoa.
Not with a concrete slab on top.
I don't know who Ruthie from the Ozarks is, but I have an aunt Ruthie who just I just inherited some things from her. So
Ruthie is
she's the little blonde that works for Jason Bateman in Ozark.
She likes to swear.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out.
She's
probably what makes the show, though. I mean,
yeah. Well, Laura Linney. I know you don't like her character, but no,
I don't.
But her acting is because
Laura Linney is a great actress. She is. She's a great actress. But like, it's just
Thomas Jefferson.
She did. Yeah. No, it's just because like everyone on Ozark is a sociopath, pretty much. And Laura Linney, though's character is
Marty though.
Marty is cold and calculating, and he does things under this belief that he's trying to do good for his family, which I think he really truly believes, but he also, every person's life that he's touched, he's ruined their lives. So he's not.
Yeah, there's that. But wasn't it his partner that took him down the path, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And then once he found out his wife, he saw there's a tape of his wife fucking somebody. Laura Linney.
That's in season 1. Yeah. Thomas Jefferson. But Laura Linney's character, though, it's like she's a gambler. She's heartless. Yeah, she's like a gambler who just keeps going, no matter, even after they've lost all their money, they just keep going. And she wants everything the way she wants it. She wants her cake and eat it too. And she doesn't give a shit about anyone until she gets what she wants.
Not even her own kids.
Not her own kids. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I mean. That's why I don't like her. She's just heartless. And you even see right now towards the end, like, Marty kind of has a breakdown because he says it to his oldest daughter. He's like, I try. He goes, I keep trying to get us out of this. He goes, but she wants to be the driver's seat right now, and she's driving us off a fucking cliff. Like, and that's just because that's the way she is. Like, she will not admit.
But he said it very wrong. He said it very calm. I try.
Calm. Yeah.
I try.
Yeah.
But she's driving us off a fucking cliff.
But,
that's my Jason Bateman impression. Sorry.
I'll be curious to see where it goes. I've only got 3 or 4 more episodes, and then I'm done. So
I didn't even know it was back. I was like, because I saw it on it's Hulu, right?
Netflix.
It's Netflix. Yeah, like they did.
I go. Why are they showing this? Yeah, I forgot it was coming back in April.
Yeah, season 4. They split it in 2, and the first half.
Yeah.
First 7 episodes were in January, and the second 7 are now. Yeah.
I still have to watch Succession.
Yeah, it's okay. Like this season, Succession's a great show. It's a good show. Like I felt this season they covered this ground already. Like it's like, there's still some interesting things that happen, but I was like, they've kind of done that plot already. I was like, okay, but bastards, it's still good. But I think Succession should have been like a 3-season then done show. It's like, hey, like, because really that's the whole point. It's like who's going to take over? And it's like,
you have Father of the Year.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you keep but they keep whipping this dead horse already. It's like, okay, like we get it. All the kids are fucked up and they feel like they don't have any attention or love from their parents. And the dad's a self-centered asshole who really only cares about his business because he built it. And and then you have all the clingies, the husbands or the cousins or whatnot. It's like,
so it's like the Jay and Jack show.
Exactly. I just figured out because I was watching a show the other day and I kept asking my wife, I go, what show was this? She goes, I don't know. I go, she's the girlfriend or the new wife in Successions. And it was I can't remember the show I was watching, but it was driving me crazy and it just clicked.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, okay.
Anyway.
Well,
I love that. Is that a painting that you painted?
No, this isn't a photograph, but I did take a picture of that. I did photograph this. This is from Yellowstone. So I don't really want to go into too much about my backgrounds because it bores John, the retired UPS guy. So I just will ignore talking about anything
it looked like it was a nuclear explosion after, but it's
no, it's just like the trees are dead because the ground is acidic. So I think they died. So, but yeah, it's from a Western road trip through Yellowstone.
Nice.
Thanks.
I've never been to Yellowstone.
I can't.
Jellystone.
Yellowstone's definitely worth going to once. I like the Tetons more than the Yellowstone.
I can change it to a different background if you want to. So
some guy.
Who's the guy with the arrow?
Yeah. Just a little plastic toy figure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway,
is that an Indian toy figure?
Yes, it is.
From Cowboys and Indians?
Yes,
Do you have those anymore?
They do. They still make those.
They still sell them?
Mm-hmm. Indian in the cupboard.
Yeah. Yeah, go to your local dollar store. You can find some cowboys and Indians because that's how generic they are. So,
okay.
No, this is an aquarium, and it's kind of set up with like this is another art piece of mine. So okay. I've been using art pieces of mine.
Where's the back? What's that background?
Photograph I took in Idaho.
1929 when he went back.
When I went back. 2002 Utah.
That's when there was water in
Idaho.
reservoirs.
Idaho somewhere. So. I don't have any of Maggie's moons in the background. So I am looking forward to, we have one more show before the Raleigh meetup, but I am looking forward to seeing everybody at the Raleigh meetup. So including Jack. He is the only person that I'm going to see. Yes.
I'm not going because Brian's not going to be here.
What? Brian's not going to be there?
No.
But you're not going because Brian's not going to be there? I'm going to be there, but you're not going to come see me?
I'll come see you. Okay.
I would appreciate it if you come see me. I'd like to see you in person. I mean, I see you every week, so it's kind of weird just to be like, oh, hey.
Actually, the only reason I'm going is because you're going.
Oh, thanks. I just want to prove to other people that we are two different people completely, so.
Yeah, I don't want to see Dan the serial killer, but that's if you make it.
Oh, don't worry, he'll see you though.
Oh yeah, he's my ride. Don't talk shit about Dan. So. No, looking forward.
Can you help me with these bags? I need to go through West Virginia.
I am looking forward to seeing everybody. I was very, 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 very concerned because my son got COVID.
Oh. It's coming around again.
It is coming around again, especially if there's no masks being worn by anybody. So he had already told me that week. This was last week. I think he told me on like Tuesday or Wednesday. He was just like, and I think I even told Nick about this, about how my son was like, no, I didn't.
And Nick said,
not that I recall.
Nah, maybe I talked to my brother about it, but I had said something about like how he was concerned because there was another kid in his class that was just like constantly coughing. So he actually took a mask.
Oh yeah, you didn't talk about that.
Yeah. Did no good. So if that kid had COVID, he clearly passed it to my son. My son had a fever. He had the cough.
Was he vaccinated?
He is vaccinated. Mm-hmm. And but he did have it. Tested positive. We kept him home, kept him under surveillance, got the fever down. The cough went away, and now, other than being fatigued for the last couple of days, the kid slept like almost 12 hours last night.
Wow.
Like 12 hours out of a 12-year-old boy.
I would love to sleep 12 hours.
No shit. Like both my wife and I are jealous. And meanwhile, he's like, I lost all of my day. I lost so much of my time. And I'm like, dude, you need your sleep. This is the time that you take your sleep. So anyway, he's better now. The entire time he had tested positive, our family was testing negative. So I've tested the entire time, still negative. I've had no symptoms, no signs. I've had no fever.
Did you ever have it?
Not that I know of. That's not to say that I haven't had it and I wasn't asymptomatic.
Your wife had it, right? Your wife had it?
She was testing positive, but she never had any symptoms from it, and none of us ever tested positive. And when we did the mail away nose test, where they actually it's more of a thorough test, came back as negative. So my wife never officially got it that we know of, and so only my son had it, and he is now past the point of contagion, and he's going back to school tomorrow. So wow. I was really concerned though when he came home with it. I was like, oh, I'm so fucked. I might not be able to go to the Raleigh meetup. But rest assured, all of you Raleigh meetup people, I am negative, and that's a positive, and I have not had any.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing I worry about, because no one would do it intentionally. But if
nobody would do it intentionally.
It's close. Because Cindy she'll still say, "How the hell did you not get it?"
I'm shocked. I'm shocked that my entire family didn't get it.
I'm lovable and I'm pure, and
there was three people. I mean, I sat
Our whole family
with
had it.
Less than 6 feet away from my son as we watched TV, and I never got it. And let me tell you, there were several days where I was testing myself because I was going into my last week of school, and I was also worried that I was going to miss my last day of teaching, because I was like, oh fuck, this really.
No, people are like, oh, you're still in the same room you're sleeping in the same room. I go,
if I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it. That's how I was with my wife. Yeah.
But everybody got it, but me, Colleen, and I think grandson Alex didn't get it. Where did he get it? I can't remember, but I know Colleen and I didn't get it.
Well, game on. Still looking forward to the meetup. And Mike says, rest assured, Matt will be getting COVID on the flight over to Raleigh. See, I'm riding with Dan, so I'm not flying. So.
COVID is the least of his problems. He's riding with Dan.
Mm-hmm. So Randy asks, would you go back in time to give Hitler COVID? The catch-22 is do you get the Spanish flu because you gave him COVID? That's probably what would happen. Yeah. So
can't I just shoot him
from our time?
No, I go back.
A time bullet. Ooh, it's a gun.
I fire it
through time.
I like that. The bullet goes. You write the name of Hitler.
It's like a little whisper.
And it comes back. Go no, not Bob Hitler.
Not Bob Hitler. Fuck! I gotta do this again.
Oh, and it's like all these Hitlers are dropping off the face of the earth.
So then you end up just doing the Nostradamus thing and writing Histler on it, and then So anyway, for everybody that enjoyed watching or listening to this show, I hope you subscribe to us on YouTube at the Ramblecast After Dark.
What are you up to now?
94. We're so close. Right. It's so far away. We have some patrons to thank, and of course, I want to thank everyone in the chat that made this show possible for joining us live. I'm not. So Jack's anti-Miami Mike.
He shows up in the Survivor chat too. I mean, it's like
he's a dedicated listener.
2 days in a row. It's like, come on.
He's an ex-podcaster. If Chris ends up missing too many more shows, we'll just have to bring him back on. Anyway, patrons, I want to thank, and there is a theme, of course, to this week. Jack, I was going to let you read these off because usually when Chris is gone, I let Nick read them, but I think in all fairness,
I don't think I've ever read them.
Let Nick do it because I'm falling asleep.
What?
I took my sleeping pills.
but this first one's for you.
I never learned to read.
Winning Time Tack.
Oh, well, that's a TV show. That's interesting.
Wild and wacky.
How about that?
Better Call Eckhart.
Oh, that's a TV show too, huh?
That's another thing I got to catch up on. Better Call Saul.
Right?
I'm 3 seasons behind. Ed the Offer. He can't refuse.
Maggie requested this, so go ahead.
Moon Knight Maggie. Knight Maggie.
This seems like these are all TV shows that are on right now or current. I wonder.
Can we go back in time and get rid of them? Inventing Joanna.
Yeah, I colored that one in. Yeah, the glasses are pretty cool, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if any of you have watched that Inventing Anna, but it's a good fun Netflix show.
I've seen it, and I just said I got too many shows.
Well, if you enjoyed all of the fun of that,
sorry, I'm yawning. I'm not yawning because you're talking, Matt.
Okay, never mind. I won't finish that thought. Thanks for joining us. No, I'm done. Join us next week when we will have Chris back, maybe. And
maybe I won't be back.
And it'll be episode 169.
Suspended again.
Which means it'll be all of the fun. Oh, Inventing Anna stars Ruthie from Ozark, Matt. Thanks, Mike, for bringing it full circle.
Cindy watched that show.
Yeah, it was good.
Where she's a con artist, right?
Yes. Okay. My wife was also obsessed with the show Inventing Anna. She likened it to what was that? Tiger King. She felt like it was like Tiger King because it was just like, how much more can this woman get away with, and it just kind of kept building and building and escalating. Although we're inventing Anna is not a documentary; it's a dramedy.
Cindy got about halfway through. She goes, "I probably should have watched this with you. You probably would have liked it." She did that yesterday. She was watching the show with Michelle Dockery, and she goes, I probably should have watched this with you. You would have liked it. I go, when I'm watching a show and I go like Ghost, the TV show Ghost on CBS, I said, I watched a couple episodes. I said, you know what? I think you'd like this. And she was, I don't know. And so we watched like I watched like 6, 7 more. And I went back and watched them with her, and she loves the show.
Nice.
Which reminds me, I still got to catch up on Ben Franklin, the PBS series.
Well, join us next week when we find out if a penny saved is a penny earned by Jack. And thank you for joining us. This was 1 penny in a million.
Was that Ben Franklin?
I want to say the Ben Franklin one though was only like 2 or 3 episodes. That's it. I mean, really? They're long. They're long each. They're only like 3 hours long. Yeah.
Yeah. 3 hours. Yeah, just like this podcast. So
there's another one.
Thanks for joining us.
At the end of the month on the History Channel about
it was one in a lightning bolt. Oh, Teddy yes, the Roosevelts. Are you talking about the Roosevelts?
I've seen the Roosevelts.
No, not the Roosevelt. It's just something on the History Channel about Taylor.
The History Channel. Oh, sorry, I don't slum it with any of this anti-Ben Burr.
I've seen the Roosevelt. Have you seen the Roosevelts?
I think I did.
Randy is saying 2 2-hour episodes, and that's 2 hours too many. Thank you for joining us.
If I go with Teddy, I'm gonna have to urge a charge a hill.
It was